is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to you with a quick video. I wanted to let you guys know I got some new merchandise available, not just t-shirt anymore. I got different type of t-shirt, different type of shirts and logos that you can purchase on my spread shirt, and also hoodies now. We have expanded and added more to the channel and more merchandise for the brand. Thanks for supporting. It will be in the description and the links will be in the comment section below. Thanks for helping me and supporting the movement. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to check out the video. What's good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis coming to y'all with a quick video. I just wanted to harp and go based off what people are saying and just tell you guys my analysis about this situation. And on top of that, I wanted to tell you because I had a top 5 most disappointing players of this season, and I did not have Ben Simmons on this list. But as you've seen in Jimmy Butler debate and throughout this season, Ben Simmons hasn't shown that much growth and that much development so far this season, and it's not even close. It's not like we're 2 games into the season. We're into the double digits, and Ben Simmons is not even trying or doing anything showcasing that he has improved or he has gotten better on the offensive end. It seems like he just came back and said, it worked, let me go out there and do it again. And I said the same thing about Donovan Mitchell and Jason Tatum. The league is continuing to evolve and is forcing you to change. And what I mean by that is people reading you. People are scouting you. People are preparing for you. So you have to be able to adapt to the situation, adjust your game, and continue to improve it unless you get caught up. You even see it with championship teams. Eventually the team loses in the finals. And eventually another team created to beat them in their conference or in the finals. So the goal is to go out there and have the best roster and put out the best talent you can, but also improve the roster every single season from the summer all the way to the trade deadline and the buyout contracts and try to get a chance to win a championship. And we just haven't seen the growth from Ben Simmons that he wants to be great. He wants to be one of the best players. Now, last year was an amazing year for Ben Simmons because he was the rookie of the year and he played 81 games and he looked it good and he stayed healthy for the season. Now that's a huge step forward because he couldn't stay healthy before, and on top of that, we really didn't see him play at all because he missed the whole season of his technically rookie year. But he was able to come out there and show us what he was able to bring to the table. Now, honestly, I voted for Donovan Mitchell as rookie of the year. I did not vote for Ben Simmons. I thought that Donovan Mitchell was the better rookie, and he did have the better season. But Ben Simmons was able to give you 15 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, and he still shot 54% from the field, even though he didn't shoot the 3-ball well or at all, or even go to the free throw line that much. Ben Simmons still had proved that he was worth the #1 pick because of his versatility and the multiple skills and things that he do well on the offensive end of the court. But we all expected Ben Simmons to take another leap because he's a gym rat. You always see Ben Simmons, especially this summer, he was showing that he was putting up jumpers, putting up threes, putting up elbow pull-up jumpers, doing dribble drives, and it looked like he was going to take that leap this year. But honestly and truthfully, it was the furthest thing from the truth because at the end of the day, Ben Simmons hasn't even been attempting jumpers still, or at least a floater. I can see if you can at least attempt a floater. The most ways he gets his points is by getting post-ups where he can catch the ball and just go up and make a hook shot or a dunk, or when he does a backdoor cut or they not paying attention to him and he slides to the rim and get a finish. And that's about it. And that's just basically playing like a center where you're tall enough and you're strong enough to get a shot off near the basket and go in. Other than that, Ben Simmons has shown no signs of being an alpha male. He shows no signs of wanting to dominate a game outside of passing. Yes, he is a solid defender, but the people he guard, he's more athletic than and he's bigger than. And I'm not saying that that shouldn't work because he still could be a terrible defender, but he cares about playing defense. He tries to play defense. He's a smart defender. I give him credit on that, but he hasn't took a leap in that area either. He was never an elite defender. He was always a good, solid defender, but he was never elite, and he hasn't even took a strides to improve on that. It seemed like Ben Simmons had an interview when he said it's hard to do a jumper because I never had to shoot. And to see him practicing in the summer, you'll think that he'll take that level take that confidence in those shots that he's doing in practice and try to implement it into a game. But he doesn't even attempt jumpers at all. And one thing that I told you guys coming out of the draft, my biggest problem with Ben Simmons in high school and my biggest problem with Ben Simmons in college, and he proved it in high school and college, and he's proven it now in the NBA, the guy don't want to score. And it's getting to the point where it's Rondo level. People know you want to rebound. People know you want to get out in transition. People know you want to get assists, and you willing to set up your teammates at all costs. But now, just like everybody else see that watch the games, and I watch every single game every day because I'm an analyst. At the end of the day, the thing that's crazy is Ben Simmons at this point tries so hard not to score the fucking basketball that at the end of the day they don't even they sagging off of him now. And that hurts Jimmy Butler, that hurts Joel Embiid because they're not great shooters already. It even hurts JJ Redick because now I can help on JJ Redick because once he come off those screens, I'm not really guarding Ben Simmons. So once he come off that screen, I can show, which means he can come up and contest if his defender is behind. And now JJ Redick, like we've been seeing, is taking harder 3-point shots, especially when he was coming off the bench, but even more now because they not guarding Ben Simmons, which means they can always help off the person that needs the help. You don't have to guard Ben Simmons from the 15-foot and out. So now I already know that in the back of my mind. So now I'm going to take gambles. Now I'm going to show. Now I'm going to help. Now I'm going to try to interrupt passing lanes because now I know that Ben Simmons, the only way he's going to beat me is by getting to the paint and getting a dunk. And if he doesn't do that, he's not going to shoot it. He's not going to do a floater really either. Even though he's 6'11", he can just tap the ball in the rim because he's so tall and athletic that he can get off the ground quick enough, more than most power forwards and centers, and he's bigger and stronger and longer than any point guard that he should be able to go out there and dominate offensively as much as he won't. But I think that's going to definitely have a negative effect on this Philly team if Ben Simmons doesn't get some type of dog or some type of alpha male in them. Now, I'm not saying that Ben Simmons got to give you 25 to 30 points. I've been on record saying that. Ben Simmons' style of play is fine, but you still have to be a threat offensively to score. You're a starting point guard. You still have to find ways to impact the game continuously. You can't just be a one-trick pony. If you ain't passing, you're not doing nothing else. You have to be able to do multiple things on the court. That's what make you more dynamic. That's what make you more diverse because you have multiple ways to impact the game. Because if he's not rebounding or getting a pass, he's not really impacting the game no other than that because he's not a great defender and his best strengths are playmaking. So to me, it's just simple math. And it's just simple knowledge that if you play the game of basketball, you watch the game of basketball, Ben Simmons has to do more. And if they really want to go all in and win with this roster, it may not be the bench. They need more out of their starters too. Now, I think that they'll be fine because Jimmy Butler can handle the ball. He can create his own shot and he can get to the free throw line at worst. But when Ben Simmons finally decides that he needs to find other ways to impact the game offensively, that's when they're going to start hitting their peak, and that's when they're going to be a nightmare to guard offensively. Because when you have JJ Redick running through the screens and Jimmy Butler always in attack mode, and he can make the pass, he can create his own shot anytime he wants to and pick apart the defense. And then you have Ben Simmons, a guy that can do multiple things offensively when he gets there. This is going to be a tough team to prepare for because they have talent. And then don't forget, they got Joel Embiid who can play make in the post, but also dominate in the post. And he can get to the free throw line. Plus, he has a little jumper. He's been an inconsistent. He's not a great shooter, but he can knock him down if you dare him. But at the same time, he can be streaky, just like Jimmy Butler. But you're going to need more out of Ben Simmons if they really want to hit that pinnacle of being one of the best offensive and defensive teams. And remember, they don't have the shooters that they had last year. I know that they do have Redick. I know they do have Court Miles, who's okay. I know they have Shumit. And I know they have Mike Muscala in them, but those guys are still streaky. They're not guaranteed three-point shooters like a JJ Redick, but they don't have those guys this year so far. And I know they want to bolster that bench with that. But until they can get those shooters, they got to find a way to win right now. And the best way to win is have everybody on the court as a handler or even as a threat. And Ben Simmons, once he gets more aggressive and once he starts getting the confidence in that shot, which he hasn't been able to do his whole career, including high school, middle school, and college, eventually he'll figure out that they need him to bring more to the table. Even when he gets compared to LeBron eventually developed a three-point shot. LeBron eventually developed a fadeaway. Even Magic Johnson developed, the push shot from three and even the hooks. So he can be able to impact the game outside of passing. And even though he did play with Kareem and James Worthy, who was great players, and he was able to set them up in transition and in the half court, he still found small ways to score when people didn't pay attention to him or they dared him to score. He still showed confidence in that jumper, even though he couldn't shoot. And he was able to even improve his free throw shooting too, which was able to get him to another level too. Because now, if you fouled him or he was aggressive, he wasn't scared to go to the free throw line and knock him down. And that's something that Ben Simmons hasn't even been able to do still. But don't give up on him. Like I said, I'm not a Ben Simmons guy. I did vote for Donovan Mitchell for Rookie of the Year, but I still respect him. He is one of the better players. If the Philly continues to win this year, him and Joel Embiid and Jimmy Butler all might be all-stars this year, depending on how they gel and depending on how they mesh. And that should happen because they're already in the playoffs right now, and Jimmy Butler only played one game. I don't see how they go back further and further, adding Jimmy Butler over Sarge and Covington, and they wasn't really even using Jerry Bayless. And you can replace his bench production with Cork Miles, who's a ball handler and a scorer and somewhat of a shooter, and Markelle Fultz can give you double digits off the bench every game if you give him the minutes and you give him the ball in his hand. He can find ways to score. He may not be the number one pick that they hoped he would be, but he can still impact the game if you give him the touches. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Will Ben Simmons be disappointing? Will he be a bust? Will he be a guy you need to watch out for? Will he be a guy that just stays the same and the NBA catches up to him and he becomes basically nothing but a passer? So Rondo eventually had to get layups. He had to develop his little fate. He had to get shots from the three-point line. Like I said, eventually you got to evolve and you got to continue to add to your game. That's how you become an all-star. That's how you become a superstar. That's how you become one of the best players. You continue to adjust to the game. You continue to add to your game, and you continue to work on it so you can get to levels that you never hit. And the only way you're going to do that is by putting in the work and doing it in games. And that's something that Ben Simmons hasn't been able to do. But if you want to get to that superstar level and become better than what he is, he got to continue to add to his game and do it inside the games, and he hasn't did that so far. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description, comment section below. Check out my Facebook page, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Thanks for liking on Facebook. Also, check out my website, my Spreadshirt. There you can find t-shirts, sweaters, hoodies, all available. Also things like cell phone cases, pillowcases, water bottles, and even something random like a mouse pad. Thanks for supporting the brand by buying them products, and thanks for buying the t-shirts, and also thanks for liking on Facebook. Thanks for the support. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to let me know what you think in the comment section below.